Well, good afternoon. It is 12 on a not so sunny, thank goodness, Monday in August. And I've been waiting in for a loss adjuster all morning to come and agree with me that my house is actually falling down. And they haven't turned up. It's really annoying. So I'm going to, while I kind of decide what to do, I've emailed them, I've rung them, I've left messages, nothing. Not terribly good quality service, I would have thought. While I kind of calm down, I thought I might make a little clip about things that we're drying from the flower farm for use during the winter and show you what we've got. I've been a little bit opportunistic. Obviously, it's been very hot, dry weather here for us. And so I'm drying more than I normally would, but I've hung a few testers up and have been pleased with the results. And so I'm just going to take you through what I've got on my table here and maybe inspire you to walk around your garden and dry a few things yourselves. By the way, you can always subscribe to the channel. Press the bell icon and we'll tell you when we've got more clips coming up. And if any of the tips and tricks I give you along the way are useful, you can always buy me a coffee. The link for coffee buying is in the blurb to all my clips. Right, enough of that. Let's have a look at what we're drying. So, first of all, this is my gorgeous Hydrangea Limelight in full flower and didn't mind the sun at all. Absolutely just didn't wilt, didn't mind it. I didn't water it, perfectly happy. So what I've done is I've cut 50 stems of it and I've pulled off all the foliage and I'm popping it in a little bit of water. You can see it's wet to here, in a clean bucket. And I'm just going to leave them there and they'll slowly dry in the bucket and I'll use them through the autumn and the winter. They won't keep their perfect cream, gorgeous creamy heads, but they will stay a nice pale colour and it will be useful for, certainly for Christmas, if not before. So I'm pleased with those. That's a useful thing. Here, this I'm being opportunistic with. I wouldn't normally dry it, but this is my variegated pineapple mint. And as you can see, it's flowering and the flowers are really nice and solid and firm. So I hung a little bunch of this up yesterday. I'll show it to you. And it dried really nicely. So I'm going to dry more of it because I think it'll be lovely over the winter in dried arrangements. She says, dropping it all over the floor. This is the bunch I dried yesterday. Hang on, just going to get it. And so this has been hanging up on a door for 24 hours, and as you can see, it's dried really nicely. So that's what inspired me to get the rest of it, and we'll dry it all. And I'm sure we'll use it through the winter. Better hang it back up. My mother was very shocked at how untidy I was as a child. And she made me a sign that said, "Don't put it down, put it away, prepare to meet thy doom," by which she meant my house mistress at school, a nun called Sister Mary John. So ever since, I have put things away or hung them back up straight away because otherwise everything gets too untidy. Anyway, enough of that chat. Next being dried is my lovely statice, which I've grown a fair chunk of. Dries incredibly quickly, very easily, and keeps its colour really, really well. So that'll be useful during the autumn. And then, of course, the straw flower. And again, you don't need masses. I'm trying to pick it up off the table. You don't need masses of straw flowers, but, well, I mean, if you want to sell masses of bunches, then you possibly need more than me. But imagine each flower is a jewel in a wreath or an autumn something. So that's a nice little bunch of creativity there for use later on in the season. Love this. This is Hydrangea or sea holly, and it dries exactly like this. It keeps its colour, and again, I think it's absolutely lovely through the autumn and the winter, using it in arrangements. I grow this also, especially to dry. This is Scabiosa Ping Pong. Which has a pale blue flower, but very quickly goes to seed, and really people grow it for these lovely seed heads. There's the very pale blue flower compared to the seed heads. The seed heads are really quite dramatic. So I'm a big fan of this. Again, in wreaths and other dried arrangements through the autumn, really lovely. And then I had some leftover motherwort, which I'm very fond of. The bees absolutely love it. But look at those lovely structural stems. I think in a normal summer, we wouldn't have had this blast of heat, which has given us such lovely things to dry. It's really sort of dried things on the plant for me. So I've got more than I would normally have. Oh, look. Can you see that's a shield bug crawling around on the top? Hello. He's looking at me going, I don't know what I'm doing here. You see him? Oh, poor thing. I might take him out afterwards and put him in the garden. Obviously, poppy seed heads are excellent for drying. And I love to dry these. These are wild carrot seed heads, which I will hang up. And they keep their colours surprisingly long time. And look at the structure of them, aren't they gorgeous? So these are really nice for using in the autumn. And then, of course, in quantity, I have, this is Honesty seed heads, which I grow in the spring. Honesty makes really lovely, it's one of my first paniculata flowers. Paniculata flowers. But then this is quite zen doing this in the autumn, is peeling back each, you have to sit and do it individually in front of the telly. It takes hours, but each time you peel back the covering of the seed head, inside you get one of these lovely silver discs. Oh, well, that's badly done. And they are really, really good for Christmas and winter. I think I love the way they catch the light. Very sparkly. Anyway, that's a job. I may pay some children to do this for me. And then this is my Lamornium sea lavender. It smells a bit cabbagey when it's fresh in quantity. Look at that lovely colour. Very, very good in Christmas wreaths. I use it as a sort of bit of froth in my Christmas wreaths. So I've got masses of that, and I'm going to hang it up to dry. It dries really quickly, really easily. And one more thing. I was away looking after Mum when my Veronicastrum flowered. And so I missed it to cut for sale. So instead, I've cut it now, and I will hang it up to dry. And look at that. Again, lovely structure, lovely shape, and it'll dry really, really well hanging up. So lots of different things that you could think about. Go and have a walk around your garden. See what you've got that would dry, is dry, could dry, you could experiment with. I love, even if I weren't going to make any exciting arrangements, to have bunches of mint hanging around the house and things is really the smell is delicious and it's pretty. And what's not to like? Anyway, enjoy. Go around your garden and have a go. See what you've got that you could cut for drying. And I will see you soon. Bye. The crunchy sound is Tea Cake the Border Terrier having her lunch. And I don't have an especially special place to do this, so I just make sort of manageable sized bunches and hang them off the beams in the studio until they're dry. When they're properly dry, I can bunch them and they won't take up so much room. So they'll just be here for a week or two. I don't have a special dark place, but it's airy enough here and they'll dry quite nicely. I'll check them if any for mould or rot in the middle of the bunches. Don't make your bunches too enormous, otherwise you risk a bit of rot. But they look awfully nice for the moment, just hanging up like that. They're going to drive Fabrizio mad because he's too tall and will bash his head coming in and out. I, on the other hand, am only 5'2", so this won't bother me in the slightest. And the loss adjuster did ring after all and is coming, so all is forgiven. Did you know? Of course, when I say we live in a falling down farmhouse, I'm not kidding.